What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode here of the Suburban Paranormal Podcast. I am, of course, your host, Dex. We're going to go ahead. Let's jump right into this. Got a couple articles, and you would not believe, but we got ghost. Ghost articles are right off the bat this time. I know I am completely shocked, just as you are. Sorry about that. Trying to be a little more hype here. Been a long, crazy couple days here, so that's why this episode's coming out just a day later. But anyway, the first one here from our favorite website, the unexplainedmysteries.com. That's unexplained-mysteries.com. Again, I've found some new ones to hopefully start looking into. But anyway, this is our favorite site as of right now. But the first one we got here is there's a haunted doll that apparently weeps tears of acid that was rescued from a house fire. Now, if you read the article, dolls always seem to have these creepy vibes, right? They always have stories around them. People have plenty about them. I can't remember if this doll has a name, but this was a gentleman named Matt. He had her imported to the UK. And apparently it likes to try and set itself on fire. I don't know why. Found that one kind of cool. But he thinks that the previous owner's spirits would be attached to it. So maybe that's where it's trying to happen, because the previous owners died in a blaze. There's a good video here. I don't really want to play it. YouTube's been coming after a lot of people for just even playing short clips, even though there's the whole YouTube you should be able to play kind of thing. I don't know. There's more that I need to get into it, but to avoid the copyright strike here, I'm just going to show you that. So apparently, that's right, I'm sorry, they call it Annie. I don't know what it is with dolls named Annie. The name, the name Annie, I guess, lends towards some evil, right? We've all, I don't know how many people know an Annie that have been pretty crazy. Anyway, this one now is in a box under 24-hour surveillance. They have put, if you watch the video, they've had REM pods. You can see, I'll close this. You can see they got some K2 meters that are sitting there. This thing starts going off every once in a while, when apparently the clothes are becoming more singed and charred. As usual, this is just another very, very creepy looking doll with some thick shadow or eyeliner stuff around the eyes. I don't know about you, but the crazy Annie I knew, same thing. But yeah, thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know how many people in the UK. There's always a lot of cool stuff coming out of the UK, I feel sometimes, right? But just curious if anybody's seen this, what you guys think about that. And also, what you guys think of, what is it with dolls? Right? Why is it always dolls? Anyway. This is pretty cool, too. This reminds me of some other local stories, but anyway, I'll bring it up to this. So apparently Cambridge, again, cross over there, right? There's a haunted crossing of death. It's been growing over the past few years out in Peterborough. But apparently there's a lot of stories of cars going over, the automated lights coming on and off, which what I'm curious about is if any of the people listening, if you're someone that works on this kind of equipment, what could possibly be setting these things off, other than a glitch in the system? Like, what are those reasons? I'm kind of curious, because can we maybe try and tie some of the things that, can cause these to go off to a possible real explanation or paranormal explanation, right? Interestingly, they attach a video to this thing that's 4 minutes and 45 seconds long, and it's literally, the gates come down, everything's blinking, but it's 4 minutes of nothing. The thing's just going off. And then the train's coming by. So, like, you think is there a ghost that sets us off? But then a train comes by, right? Like, I don't understand the point of the video other than to maybe show the location. But again, I don't understand the point of that. But what's always funny with these trains too is as it's approaching, you'll see those gates come down and they'll sit for a while. We got a train here. I got stuck at it the other day. Drove me nuts. You sit there for half hour sometimes, and the first 10 to 15 minutes, there's nothing in front of you. But those gates come down. But then, not even 10 seconds after the stupid train goes by, gates are up, you're good to go, right? I mean, I guess I can get it if it's, you know, something for brake failures, things like that. I get it. Again, it's just, it's kind of, it's a little annoying, right? When you're sitting there and you're trying to get somewhere and all you do is see a train sitting all the way back here and the gates are blocking you from still going. So, I'm curious to find out, though. So, you know, they talk about one incident, or I should say an accident, that took place. It was in the 40s, where a bunch of German prisoners were struck by lightning. Not the train, but by lightning. And then there was another accident with a colonel. His car got struck across the line, but it doesn't mention the colonel dying. Oh no, I'm sorry. They were, and they were buried near the scene. Sorry, I'm thinking of a different story. But one of the things that made me think about this when I read this story is it possible that just anywhere can be haunted? Like, are we also too quick to call a place haunted? Now, granted, this is talking about years and years, right? 1940s, we're in 2022, there's something else in 1970s. Apparently a lot of researchers and paranormal researchers go there, or paranormal investigators. Whatever name you want to use, right? Ooh, sorry about that. Whatever name you want to use. But, I don't know. Sometimes I think we're too quick to consider everything haunted. But then again, with the amount of reports that are apparently there, this only mentions 3. I'd be curious if there's a way, if anybody happens to know this crossing and happens to know a way of searching perhaps, you know, local police records and things like that. And then also, what bugs me is how do we only have an article claiming things, but no one has video of this intersection of any of the supposed, you know, reported claims? I'm curious if I know we have some UK listeners. There's not many, but the few of you that are out there, if you happen to know this location and you've happened to have caught anything on any kind of recorder or camera, let us know. I'll be curious to see it. I wish when these articles were published, if they're gonna report this, we'd get a little more, something with, like, at least give us a picture to look at, maybe video if you got it. But when you put a video of the train track for 4 minutes, when it does nothing, I just, attaching this video to this article was just completely pointless, in my opinion. I don't understand why they did that. But anyway, thought that was kind of interesting, and again, I was just, the whole, are we too quick to jump to everything being haunted? Anyway, this one is awesome. Again, not around here, of course. Again, I'm in the Philadelphia area, but there is a spot in England where apparently there's a ghost that's just yelling at people, and it curses. I freaking find this awesome, because I guess what's funny to me is, right, you can read the article here on the screen. I'm just going to talk about it a little bit. a couple of key things that are kind of funny to this one has me kind of laughing, right? If they're talking about a ghost that's dressed in old-fashioned clothing, that is a woman, right? They don't tell you how old-fashioned, but still, when you think old-fashioned, I mean, you can think back to, say, Victorian times, or, even you go back to 70s can still be considered old-fashioned, right? I know maybe some of my older listeners might want to hit me for that one, but again, depending on who's writing the article, they could consider that old-fashioned, right? Women didn't really curse much. I'm sorry, 70s, sure. So that's why I'm curious what they mean by old-fashioned clothing, because they're talking 70s. Then, I mean, my parents grew up in the 70s. They were pretty foul-mouthed. I know that for a damn fact. I try not to curse on here just in case, there's younger listeners, because I'm trying to appeal to all audiences here, right? But if we're talking old-fashioned in, like, Victorian times, I would really love to know what the cursing is like from a ghost from possibly the Victorian era. Like, how would that even sound? These are the kind of haunting stories that just, they crack me up, because it's like, this, in a sense, could be easily someone just screwing with people, right? And we're all down for a good laugh. But, like, what in the world? I would love to see it, just an old Victorian an old lady dressed in Victorian gowns just dropping the F-bomb at you, right? Like, I get we want to be serious when it comes to this stuff too. I already get laughed at, but I mean, we gotta laugh amongst ourselves too, right? So come on, tell me that would not be one of the best stories to be telling a friend. Like, yo, I was on a ghost hunt, and I kid you not, this figure, she came around the corner and she was just like, F you, and you're just like, that to me would be one of the funniest things to ever happen during a paranormal investigation. I'm trying to think here. I know some of the TV shows, we've seen that, right? Definitely, of course, on Ghost Adventures, because they do a lot of the provoking and all that. And then I think Jason caught something like that one time. My ADD mind. We're gonna bring that up in a minute. So yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. So we'll move right along here. We'll jump into some. Oh, one of my lights fell. We're gonna jump in. Got a couple UFO stories. There was really nothing, unfortunately, since the last episode. That this site has nothing really in relation to, Nessie or Bigfoot or any of those. I'm trying to reach out again to, if you remember a while back, we read an article about a Sasquatch channel, and a person did mention they would be interested in coming on, but I never heard back. So I'm not sure what happened there, but hopefully we can reach back out and maybe, get something scheduled, because I'd be really interested. He's been posting a lot of videos lately. Like, I follow the channel. I've been keeping up to date and trying to, so I'm going to try again to reach out. So hopefully we'll get some, some kind of cryptozoology stuff soon here. But we're going to jump into some UFO and alien talk, because this first article I found, this is the former MOD, which is the British Ministry of Defense, for a couple years here, and he's talking about, we stand no chance if aliens come here pissed off and ready to just, completely wipe us out. And I'm going to have to 100% agree. Because, again, if we're talking about an extraterrestrial life form just showing up in space, we're not prepared for that. We got some air to land, yes, Jesus Christ. We got some land-to-air missiles, right? They don't go that high. This is why we created Space Force. And sure, laugh at Trump and all that for doing it. But again, with the amount of freaking UFO sightings that we see lately, if they're in those upper orbits, we need to be prepared. Laugh all you want. I'm sorry. I 100% think we should be thinking bigger here. You got Elon Musk trying to fly and land on Mars. And if he's not wrong and other people aren't wrong and saying there's other extraterrestrial life forms out there, we need to have some kind of freaking military, like, whatever, ready to go. I'm not trying to rant here, but I mean, I'm someone who'd rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. Especially when it comes to a possible another life form. We talked, I think we covered an article before, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there was an article that came out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've covered this on the channel already. NASA's apparently gone and hired psychiatrists or something like that, psychiatrists and people to help prepare for a possible encounter. Like it's an imminent thing from what all signs are pointing to, right? So the fact that they'd be able to get here and we can't go, we wouldn't even know where they're coming from. Right? Like, not to try and scare people, but if another life form showed up, we wouldn't know where on Earth they came from. Well, I'm sorry, obviously they wouldn't know. They didn't come from Earth, but we wouldn't know where in the universe they came from. And I think we need to pay a little bit of attention to that. Call it crazy, I don't care. I think we need pay a little more attention to that. And to those of you listening at home, would love to hear your thoughts on that. Find us on YouTube, find us on Facebook, and start that conversation. I want to see more dialogue between me and other listeners. I've reached out. Some of you guys know I'm a ham radio operator. I've reached out. I've talked to a few people actually recently on the radio. And hopefully maybe some of them, if they're listening and you guys want to come on, let me know. But I found this interesting, and I really think we need to be a little more prepared than just thinking it's funny, because it's not. Especially when a lot of these UFO reports come from military saying they're around our nuclear facilities. And to top that same type of thing, Scotland has recorded 47 UFO sightings last year. Now, that doesn't seem a lot because, if I'm not mistaken, the U.S. we record a lot more, but then again, a lot of people just want to say the U.S. is crazy, and that could be the case. I mean, it's America. We love to do a lot of stuff, and who knows how many of those alien reports came from a night of drinking, right? So, when it comes to any kind of numbers and reportings, you do know, I mean, there's going to be that built-in of people doing it to think they're funny, people are doing it because they're drunk, people doing it because of this, and there's all sorts of stuff like that. But apparently in the recent years, we're getting more UFO sightings in Scotland. So that's definitely interesting. This was actually reported to both National UFO Reporting Center and the Mutual UFO Network, as well as the British UFO Network. So a lot of UFO networks out there. I want to see if there's anything I can do also about talking to some of these guys, because it would be really cool to start talking to a lot of people out in the field. And, you know, I don't have that big of an audience now compared to some people, but I mean, again, one of my things is always we need to stick together. We need to network. We need to talk to another. Talk to one another to, you know, just keep things going. So, anyway, the last story I have here of the night, and then we'll wrap it up after, you know, I have one more thing. This was pretty cool. There was a gentleman who did this video and caught some interesting trails down here in the bottom right. And I'm going to risk a copyright strike possibility for this one. So, we're going to go ahead, we're going to look right over here. And what you can see is, what I found interesting is you see all of these right here, right? And you think it could be traffic. But look at the way these, so the reason I brought up the traffic is because one of my original thoughts when I first saw this was this is the highway off in the distance in the fog. But not the way these lights react. They're also just red. You do not see white headlights. So I don't think it's traffic. It's definitely some unexplained trails, as you can see right over here. And you know what? You're not seeing them because I am in the way. So let me restart this. I'm gonna move myself over. So I just thought about that. That's my mistake. So again, we're gonna take a look over here. Right, just take a look over here. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Right here. Pretty interesting, right? Like, those are some interesting trails. It's not, to me, it doesn't look like brake lights from something, you know, you got your starters going. Just the way these lights are is definitely pretty interesting. So I'm curious what your guys' thoughts. Like I said, I originally was thinking some sort of, you know, traffic. Maybe it was just some tail lights from a car whipping around, but, and then you can see this zoomed in a little. There's two distinct trails. And, this is from a photographer. So the other stuff you see going on the side is just the photographer doing their things. So, and then, again, this is just some zoomed up footage. As you can see, it's pretty interesting. Anyway, so that's what we got in the news. Again, one of the things I do want to talk about, to mention, website will be up this week. I got a basic framework up and running. If you go to actually suburbanparanormal.com, you will see it's blank right now, but I'm starting to fill in all the pages in the widgets on the right hand side and things like that. I think I've settled on we'll use this for now, and then, you know, if we feel like changing it later, we can change it later, right? Not that big of a deal. So website's going up, but my bad on this one. I don't know. I must have missed this announcement, but apparently Ghost Nation is no longer Ghost Nation, and Grant and his Ghost Hunters team are gone, and now Jason, Dave, Steve, and what's her name, are now Ghost Hunters again, and it's like Taps Returns or whatever. Like, what the hell are they doing? Like, I'm sorry. This is maybe another small rant. But what in the hell are they doing? Like, what is the single purpose of doing that? Like, because, one, you're going to create controversy and people getting pissed off of, like, why'd they fire them? And then bring them back, and they're still on this network, and they're doing it. Like, what the hell? Just, you should have left it Ghost Nation. I like Ghost Nation. How about I turn around and steal Ghost Nation? I'm just kidding. I'm not going to steal Ghost Nation. But seriously, like, what? I don't understand the absolute need or purpose to do that, right? Like, you broke off. You're a new team now. You don't have Grant and all those other people. They were They took over Ghost Hunters. You were Ghost Nation, and going forward is Ghost Nation. What's the need to go back? I mean, I get it. You did the whole Taps Returns thing, and I just found that was completely unnecessary. And it kind of bugged me. But then I noticed that's why when I was looking for new Ghost Nation episodes to come up, they weren't coming up because they were all going to freaking Ghost Hunters in the TVR. Jesus. Again, I must have missed the memo, but I'm curious how many other people didn't actually know that occurred because, Jesus. I was actually, another thing. The gentleman I talked about that should be hopefully making an appearance on this channel soon, that I've been doing stuff with, we have plans to go do some more CE5 stuff next weekend. We're working on gathering that stuff, but he had given me a little USB drive here with a bunch of documentaries that I plan on watching this week. So, if anybody has any more good documentaries to take a look, I'll go ahead and I'm always looking for new things to do, and we'll discuss them a little bit. And like I said, we'll discuss some of the things that are on this too. But until next time, guys, again, I always appreciate you listening to me ramble. I hope you're enjoying yourselves as much as I'm enjoying making these. Don't forget, come over, join us on YouTube, help me out there, click subscribe, notification bell, all the fun stuff that every YouTuber tells you to do. And if you guys want to just continue listening on the podcast, that's perfectly fine as well. I appreciate you guys there as well. So until next time, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get this uploaded for you guys for Monday. It'll be out Monday after 8 o'clock, and then again, check out the site. I should hopefully have some more things on there, and more things to come. So guys, take care.